Greetings guys, girls, and non-binary pals. I just sat down to edit my video and found that the entire first part of the video is missing and I have no idea how that happened. So I thought I'd sit down and introduce the video now. Before I get into it, I just want to say that in light of everything that is happening, I've created a new tab on my website that is a Black Lives Matter tab, and under it there are tabs to donate to a bunch of organizations that are working towards racial equality. There is also a tab to donate to GoFundMes and pay for medical bills for people who have been injured in the protests. And there is also a tab for a bunch of petitions for you to sign that I think need signing at this time. Just wanted to do my part and let you know and put all these things in one place to make it easier for you to find these things. As you know, it is Pride Month and today is Music Day for Pride Month, so I thought that I would sit down and talk about my favorite queer creator who is also doing a lot at the Black Lives Matter protests at the moment, and that is Halsey. She is just a genuinely all-around wonderful, wonderful person, and she deserves more recognition than she gets. This is actually going to be a 3-part series, one for each album, and the album I'm talking about today is Badlands. So with all of that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. She named the album Badlands to represent her state of mind at the time of writing it. Empty, desolate, lonely. The album as a whole references the abusive relationship that she was in, her experience within that relationship, and her mental health and how they impacted each other and how that worked together and left her in this desolate, lonely mind state that she was in when she wrote the album. I started listening to Halsey in 2015 before Badlands came out, so it was Room 93, and I remember listening to her music and I was like, wow, this is the music I want to create. That's the first time I've ever had that. I spent my whole life sort of being like, I want to do music, but I don't know what I want to create, and I couldn't figure it out. And as soon as I heard Room 93, I was like, this is what I want to do. And then Badlands came out and I connected with it in such a huge way. It had such a big impact on my life. I just felt it in my entire body. At the time it came out, I was about a year into my abusive relationship, and there are a lot of songs, like I say, that sort of talk about that. And it's really interesting because the songs that I connected with most and the ones that I loved and played on repeat are the ones that are specifically about that. And at the time when I listened to them, I didn't quite click to it, but I was drawn to them. And I just find that really, really interesting. And looking back in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense as to why I connected with them so much. So I wanted to talk about these songs and hope that, you know, maybe you'll listen to them and be like, whoa, oh my God. Maybe you'll relate to them. Maybe they'll help validate you and your situation and inspire you as they have validated and inspired me. First song I want to talk about is Young God. This song, oh my God. This song shows the relationship and the power dynamic between two people within an abusive relationship, and I just think it's done really, really well. So it starts with the opening verse. Ooh, baby girl, you know we're gonna be legends. I'm the king and you're the queen and we will stumble through heaven. So it's this man that she's with telling her that they're equal. I'm the king, you're the queen, we're equal, we'll do this together. If there's a light in the end, it's just the sun in your eyes. I know you wanna go to heaven, but we're human tonight. The most beautiful thing, the most beautiful light is her eyes, and she's beautiful and she is lovely, and they're human. They should just exist together and they will get to heaven together. And then you move into the second verse and the dynamic changes drastically. He said, ooh, baby girl, don't get caught on my edges. I'm the king of everything, you know my tongue is a weapon. There's a light in the crack that's separating your thighs. And if you wanna go to heaven, you should fuck me tonight. So, wow. I went from being, we're equal, you're beautiful, we can do this together, we'll get to heaven together, we've got this, we've got each other, into, I am above you. I am the king of everything, including you. I own you. You can't do anything. You won't be anything or get to heaven if you don't have sex with me. So basically he's saying, I own you and your body and you have to do whatever I tell you. Okay. And then in between those two verses, you have And I've been sitting at the bottom of a swimming pool for a while now, drowning my thoughts out the sounds. Which is basically just, she's overwhelmed and she doesn't want to have these thoughts, so she's drowning them out with everything else. And I understand that in the way that, you know, you have this like internal conflict of like your voice against their voice, and you don't want to believe that you're in this situation, and so you bottle up all your feelings you have around it, and you're like, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, this is a bad relationship, but you don't want to accept that. So you push it out, you pretend it's not there, and you like drown in it. And then the chorus. But do you feel like a young god? You know the two of us are just young guys, and we'll be flying through the streets with the people underneath, and they're running again. And to me, I sort of take that as they're invincible. She's invincible with him, and although there's this like power dynamic and he tells her he's above her, she sort of shoves all of that out. She doesn't want to think about it, because in those good moments with him, it's euphoric. When the moments are good, you want to pretend they're always good. You shove out the bad. You don't want to think about it. You pretend it's not there. You drown those thoughts and you just enjoy the euphoria with them, because when it's good, it's incredible. And it's a cycle, and it goes over and over and over with them telling you you're beautiful, and then telling you they own you, and then it's amazing, and then it's awful. Bam, bam, bam. Cycle of abuse. Brilliant song. It depicts it very, very well. The next song I want to talk about is Strangelove. Now, this song, a lot of people have interpreted it quite differently, so I'm just going to be talking about how I have interpreted it. As a whole, it's her internalizing a sexual relationship, and it sort of talks about the things people want to know, the gossip. Everyone wants to know the details of your relationship. Everyone wants to know how the sex was, what happened, all that sort of thing. I take it away as her internalizing the things that have happened and sort of being like, what do people want to know? They want to know these smaller details, these like basic details that a lot of sexual experiences have. But then there's this other stuff that happened, and she's sort of internalizing it. They want to know what happened, but they don't actually want to know what happened, if that makes sense. And the most haunting part of it to me is, but the ending is the same every damn time. No. Now, a lot of people sort of speculate that that means she wanted to be in a relationship, and they were like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship. But when I sort of heard that, I was kind of like, oh my God, the ending is the same every damn time. No. Oh dear Lord. And I don't know what she meant by it, but I think you can sort of interpret it in either way. And I mean, based on the situation that I was in and what I have been through, I think interpreting it the way that I did makes a lot of sense. So when I listen to it, I sort of take the whole song as like, the sexual experience that she had, and she wasn't entirely consenting to it. Like, she withdrew her consent, or she changed her mind, or she felt pressured into it. And it's this big overwhelming thing of like, you try to tell yourself that it's okay, that you consented to it, that you wanted it, but you're realizing that you didn't actually want to, and all these people want to know these details, and you give them to them. You're like, yeah, this happened, it was fine, it was fun, in order to normalize the situation that you had. But in reality, it's a really painful memory, which is why it goes into the line, well, is this fine? Will it be all right? Because you're questioning the whole experience. You're like, wait, maybe it wasn't okay. There comes a moment when you sort of have to stop and question the relationship, and question the consent that happened, and question, was that okay? Is that what I really wanted? Was I pressured into that? And admitting to yourself that it is something that your consent was taken away from you is like a really hard and scary thing. And so it makes sense when she's sort of saying, will it be all right? Is it going to get easier? Am I going to accept this? Will I be okay? And I think that that is such a big thing to talk about. And I think it's really important. And I know that you can view the song in many ways, and that's a beautiful thing about her music. But I think that is one interpretation that I have that I think rings really true to me. Like, when you have this experience, especially with someone that you love or someone that you trust, you sort of tell yourself that it's okay. And when people ask, you tell them it was okay, and you talk about it like it's a normal thing. But on the inside, you're questioning it, and you're hating yourself, and you're feeling guilty and gross and awful, and you're trying to process it, and you don't know if it's ever going to be okay. And that is both extremely heartbreaking and very validating at the same time. The next song I want to talk about is I Walk the Line. This song has a very similar theme to Nowhere to Be Found. If I removed the bridge and the final chorus from Nowhere to Be Found, they would have the same storyline. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. You know, she doesn't want to be hurt. She's been hurt before, and she doesn't want to be lied to, and she's very protective of herself and of her heart and who she gives it to. And then it goes into, I find myself alone each day is through. Guess I'll admit that I'm a fool for you, because you're mine. I walk the line. She falls very, very hard, and she gave this person her whole heart, and she's a fool for him. She'll do anything for him. She's alone at the end of every day. She goes home and expects him to be there, and he's never there. And every day she does the same thing. She always expects him to be there. She always expects him to show up, because he keeps telling her he will, because he keeps lying and saying that he's there for her, that he cares about her, and he never comes through. But she keeps doing it every single day. Repeat, repeat, repeat. She keeps waiting for him. She keeps believing him. She keeps thinking he's going to show up because she's a fool, but she's only a fool for him. And she's walking the line because she knows she should leave, but she's trapped in there. She can't bring herself to cross the line to leave. She knows that she should, and she's right on the line. She's right on the line. She knows that she needs to cross it, but she just can't because he keeps pulling her back in. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. It's infuriating and confusing, and she would do anything for him. Like I said, she's walking the line. He's on this side and freedom is on this side. And he's somehow managing to keep her there no matter how badly he treats her, no matter how bad it gets and how much it hurts. He's keeping her there, and she can't cross the line. She can't leave. She'd even turn the tide for him. She'd do literally anything for him. He's got her wrapped around his finger, and he has full control over her. He won't do anything for her, but she will do anything for him, and he knows that, and he's taking advantage of that, and he's keeping her there. And then it just says, because you're mine, I walk the line, a bunch more times before it ends. It's sort of to the point where, because you're mine, she needs him. He's made her rely on him, but it looks like love. That reliance and that codependence is disguised as his love for her, but it's really just a tether to keep her there. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You're mine, I need you, I can't live without you, and that's why I can't leave. You've told me I can't live without you. I will do literally anything for you because I don't know how to be without you, so I am stuck. And I can't force myself to cross the line out of your grasp. Pretty big, intense song, and that's exactly what Nowhere to Be Found is about. It's either incredibly beautiful or awful and soul-destroying, and you are everything that he tells you, and that's sort of the way it goes. You are what he says you are. Sometimes you're beautiful and sometimes you're a nightmare, and you stay because you don't know how to be without them. The last song I want to talk about is Trouble. Trouble isn't on Badlands, it's on Room 93, but I think it's important, so I'm going to talk about it. The quote Halsey said about Trouble is, someone who takes pleasure and sadistic joy in making you feel bad and hurting you in a mental way. I kind of took that and put it into words so you could really understand how sadistic and twisted it is to be in a relationship with someone who enjoys hurting you. Those were her words. So the song asks a lot of questions throughout it. Would you bleed for me? Would you lie for me? Would you do all these things for me? And it's sort of her reflecting like, I am doing all of this for you. I would bleed for you. I would lie for you. I would die for you. I would do anything for you. And it's her realizing that he wouldn't do the same in return. Let's cause a little trouble. Oh, you make me feel so weak. I bet you kiss your knuckles right before they touch my cheek. To me, that symbolizes emotional abuse and manipulation. Like, you make me feel weak because, you know, these people, like, they get bigger than you and they tear you down and they know exactly where it hurts you. Abusers like to tell you, well, it could be worse. And so the kissing your knuckles before touching your cheek, to me, sort of implies you're hit with the sweetness of a kiss while being punched at the same time. He hides his manipulation and his insults. It's that making it your fault and twisting your words. It's being kind in a hurting way. So you don't always even notice the manipulation and the twistedness of it. So he's making it look like he's the nice guy and you're the bad guy. He won't admit that it's hurting you because he kissed his knuckles. You get touched by kindness. And to me, that's sort of what that symbolizes. It's that emotional manipulation and abuse, that it could be worse. I could not kiss my knuckles, couldn't I? That would be much more cruel. I love you. I'm doing this out of love. 'Cause I've got my mind made up this time. 'Cause there's a menace in my bag. Can you see a silhouette? Can you see a silhouette? Can you see a silhouette? So that, to me, that's her. She's decided. She's finally decided, I'm gonna leave. I can't do this anymore because there's a menace in my bed. This person that I'm with is a bad person and he is awful and he's terrible to me and I need to leave. But can you see his silhouette? She's asking anyone else, can you see it? He's not the person that he says he is. This is how he looks on the outside, but there's this other side to him, this darker side to him. And other people can't see it and she feels like she's losing her mind and she's making it all up. It's not him. Can you see it? Can you see this menace? Can you see this awful thing that I see too? Or am I going crazy and he's actually this nice person and everything that he says he is and I am the problem? They sort of tell you and make it seem like it's all your fault and you feel like you're going crazy. And so she's begging, does anyone else see it? Because if you feel like it's your fault and you're making it all up, you're more inclined to stay. Don't forget me, don't forget me. I wouldn't leave you if you'd let me. So he's not letting her leave. He's trapped her. We talked about this in I Walk the Line. She doesn't know who she is without him anymore. And she doesn't know what to do without him because he's there and he's told her, you are mine, I own you, and you are nothing without me. And so she can't leave. They're all such intense songs and they all hit me in so many different ways and they're all incredibly validating and incredibly heartbreaking. If you haven't listened to Badlands, please go listen to it and go listen to like all the lyrics because every single song has such a big meaning and can hit you in so many different ways. There are more songs in this album about this sort of thing and there's other songs that are really intensely about like mental health, and I think that they're all amazing. All the songs in this album are amazing. Please go listen to it. This album deserves so much more love and appreciation than it has. The lyricism is incredible. The songwriting, it's beautiful, it's brilliant, and it's incredible. All synonyms, but go give it a listen. It's validating as fuck. It's heartbreaking, but it's validating. And I hope that you are able to take something away from it and you feel less alone. And maybe it'll speak to you in the same way it spoke to me. Halsey and her music have helped me through so many things, and this album helped me overcome a lot and helped validate me in a lot of ways, and I just want to share it in hopes that it can do the same for someone. Thank you for coming along to Halsey Part 1, Badlands. I've got Part 2, Hopeless Fountain Kingdom, coming soon. Don't know when, but it'll be out soon. There are other videos in the meantime, so enjoy those. Happy Pride. I'll see you for my next Pride video in a couple of days. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for hanging out with me. I've had a really good time. Celebrate love, embrace yourself, love each other, stay safe. I love you.